and the first will be today at North Central High School.
Mayor Nadine Woodward says the open house will foster ideas on how to use federal American Rescue Plan Act relief funds. So before the discussion, Mayor Woodward joins us here on the show this morning. Good morning, Mayor Woodward. Glad to have you here with us. Let's jump right in. Let's talk a little bit about these discussions. Where did the idea come for these discussions, and what do you anticipate will be discussed?
Yeah, great question, Tim. Thanks for having me on the show this morning. We wanted to make it very clear to the community that these American Rescue Plan Act funds, which the city of Spokane will receive about $81 million over the course of this year and next year. We received $40 million this spring. But we wanted to make a commitment to the community that this was their money and that we wanted to get out to the neighborhoods and engage the community as much as possible to find out how they would want these monies spent. You know, these are one-time funds that we're receiving from the federal government. We have until we have 3 years to spend them. We'll receive them over a course of 2 years. So they are meant to be investments in the community, but also allowing the city to shore up our revenue losses and our services that have been impacted by the pandemic, but also for the community. So what does that look like? We did a virtual, it was a thought exchange survey, which, by the way, is still going on. You can find it on the city's website, to engage the community to find out what areas that initially they were interested in having these monies spent. And we found out that the areas of affordable housing, homelessness, child care, early learning, assistance to families, assistance to businesses, and recreation were just some of the identified areas that those who were involved in that exchange were interested in. So now we're going into the neighborhood. So as you mentioned, starting tonight, we're going to 3 high schools within the 3 legislative districts. Tonight from 5 to 7, we're having a kind of a drop-in open house style forum. Anybody can stop by any time during the 5 to 7 o'clock time to engage with our city staff and talk about ideas that the community might have and how they'd like to have this money spent. So tonight it's at North Central, tomorrow night it's at Rogers High School, and then Thursday night we'll be at Ferris High School.
And now, Mayor Woodward, one of the things that you keep talking about is that it's up to the community members really to kind of decide and lead these discussions. So are there any things that the money cannot be spent on, or things that they should specifically start looking at or areas that they want to spend the money on?
Well, one of the things that we'll do at the community drop-in houses at the schools is to do an education to let the community know what these monies can be spent on. This is to make cities whole again, so to restore revenue losses, and for businesses too. And so we want to make it very clear what the eligibility requirements are, because the last thing you want to do is start getting ideas from the community on projects or programs or things that are not eligible. So we want to make sure that we educate the community on that, and we'll have people there who will be able to have that discussion. And then if there's a project or an idea that we're not completely sure, we're going to bring in and contract with a third-party firm that will be able to go over the U.S. Treasury guidelines and just confirm for us what we can spend that money on, because there's a reporting element to all of this. Anytime you get federal funds, there's lots of compliance and lots of reporting. We'll be reporting on the money that we put out into our community until 2026. And so we want to make sure that everything is on the up and up and that we're compliant on all the money that we're putting out in the community.
Mayor Woodward, we are running out of time, but I want to ask you one more question. As the leader of our community, I know these are community discussions and the community gets to decide. What areas do you think this money should be spent on, or where do you think it would be best suited?
Well, I mean, I'm listening to the community, right? And so I think there will be an affordability, housing affordability component. I think there will be a homelessness component in early education, in childcare, and all of those things. But the city of Spokane, our own operations, this is intended to make cities whole again in the services they provide, the revenue that has been lost in 2020, 2021, and in the years to come. So we're looking at, even in my budget, which I gave my draft preliminary budget to the City Council October 4th. My final budget will go to them November 1st. There is ARPA money in that budget to shore up lost revenues that we've experienced during this health pandemic.
All right, Mayor Woodward, we appreciate your time this morning and for joining us. Again, that meeting, the first of those discussions, will be held tonight at North Central High School. Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Up with Crim.
All right, more information
You
on
bet,
our
thank you.
website. We'll be right back.